In January of 1995, after send-off from her home church, Herman Baptist, Joyce hit the road in her little red car to head to Jackson, Michigan, to start her missionary training at New Tribes Mission Bible Institute. There she received 2 years of intense Bible training. From Bible school, Joyce was assigned to the New Tribes Mission Institute at Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania. This training consisted of learning how to live in foreign countries. It included 6 weeks of what was known as jungle camp. While Joyce was there, the staff noticed that she had a real heart for senior saints, and just as importantly, senior saints had a heart for Joyce. She was asked to consider a ministry at NTM Homes in Sanford, Florida, the home for the mission's retired missionaries. So after Joyce finished her training at the New Tribes Language School in Camdenton, Missouri, she headed to NTM Homes in the summer of 1998. She was there for nearly 3 months, filling in wherever she was needed. At the end of the summer, Joyce was invited to return and assume full-time ministry, after heading home to share her ministry with churches and individuals who would support her prayerfully and financially. Joyce returned to NTM Homes in May 1999. When she first arrived, she lived in a single room in the Latham Center. That lasted until January of 2001. After the resident staff person retired and moved into her retirement duplex, a minor renovation was done and Joyce moved into her present apartment. From the very beginning, Joyce's primary ministry was to drive retirees where they needed to go: doctor's appointments, shopping, picking up their medications, and even really fun outings like going to the beach. Another ministry that Joyce became involved in the fall of 1999 was teaching at Lake Monroe Christian Academy, the Christian school for the children of those who served at mission headquarters and at NTM Homes. For most of her years there, she taught history first thing in the morning before returning home to serve the retirees. Her final 2 years at Lake Monroe, she taught full-time. Then she retired from teaching in 2010 and turned her full attention to serving at NTM Homes. But Joyce didn't completely give up teaching. In the fall of 2004, she was asked by one of the retirees to start a class at NTM Homes because she wanted to study world history and pleaded with Joyce, "Can't I please go to school with you?" And others also wanted to learn, so the Monday night class was born. After world history, there was American government, and lastly, they started studying the individual states of the U.S. in the fall of 2008. They managed to study most of the states before the class came to an end. As part of their study, the class took 2 field trips, one to Savannah, Georgia, and one to St. Augustine, Florida. Some of Joyce's favorite times were having both ministries come together, such as patriotic presentations, a medieval fair, and the World War II symposiums. The class also visited a replica of the Nina that docked in Sanford. In 2005, as part of Joyce's night duty ministry, she was asked to take the course to be a medication assistant. That way she could assist a resident with taking a medication during the night duty hours as needed. So that is how she came to start helping ALF residents with their medicines. This is a ministry that she has continued even to this day. Though Joyce has helped in the kitchen and helped with housekeeping, her primary daytime ministry has been driving, minivans mostly, but also a 15-passenger bus that required her to get a CDL license. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, she also drove golf carts. There were several notable events that happened during Joyce's 25 years at NTM Homes. For example, 2004 was a very active hurricane season. In fact, Hurricane Floyd came right through Sanford. A huge blessing to Joyce in 2017 was when she was able to lease a Honda Civic with a lot of help from her home church. Then another leased vehicle came along in 2020. And then also in 2020 was when the Latham Center went into lockdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2015, after the new chapel/office building was completed, another major project was undertaken. The old chapel was turned into 6 resident rooms in the West Wing. Rooms across the hall from Joyce's apartment were remodeled into an apartment for a second night duty caregiver, and Lena was added to our staff. What a blessing Lena has been. And the last renovation to be done as part of that project was Joyce's own apartment, where she had lived since January of 2001. The door of her apartment needed to be moved to the west wing side, so the leadership decided Joyce's apartment should undergo a major renovation. Now another renovation is taking place. This is happening at 312 Columbia Court. This will be Joyce's retirement duplex. It is scheduled to be completed in December of 2024. Joyce's official retirement date will be on December 31st, 2024. Joyce wants to conclude her presentation with this explanation. Throughout her years at NTM Homes Retirement Center, people have asked her what her ministry has to do with sharing the gospel with those who have never heard. By caring for retirees like Jenny Hare, Mary Roundy, Delora Neese, Peggy Shaler, and countless others whose children and grandchildren are serving around the world sharing the gospel with those who've never heard, Joyce has enabled those family members to continue in their ministries, knowing that their elderly moms and dads are being cared for by the staff at the homes of Ethnos 360, which for the majority of Joyce's ministry was named NTM Homes. And finally, the narrator wants to add a note of his own. Hi, I'm Jim Sheffield, and I've had the privilege of being Joyce's ministry supervisor for the past 12 years. I want to thank you for praying for Joyce, for giving financially to make possible her ministry to some of the great heroes of our faith, and for encouraging her to stick with it for all of these years. Joyce is retiring, but she is not quitting. She has assured me that even after retirement she will continue to volunteer at the homes of Ethnos 360. I hope that you will continue to pray for her, encourage her, and give financially to support her ongoing ministry to those who have given so much over the years to further the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ.